My name is Paul. I'm a no-code expert. I teach solopreneurs like you how to build their dreams using no-code. I also take on no-code jobs. So if you have a dream that you want to build and you need help building it, feel free to click on the link below. You can always have a call with me, and we'll see how we bring that dream to life. And we will see how we bring that dream to life. So let's get started. The first thing first is, what exactly is no-code? Yeah, some persons pronounce it as no, a cold. Some other persons say no. I think it's no cold like this, just no code. So if you Google no code, you would see that no code is the way you build software graphically. So you do a lot of things graphically, and you do it by moving things around. By moving things around, that's how you do it. So if you think, or if you've ever experienced any no-code tool before, you would see that majority of the no-code tool help you to build applications, web, mobile, AI, any way you want to use it, Internet of Things, by simply telling you to drag and drop things on the screen. But some no-code tools are not just about dragging and dropping stuff on the screen. Some of them, they allow you to put your own idea, put your own intelligence. They allow you to code. They allow you to add to the layer. Right. For example, tools like FlutterFlow, we'll get to that. Bubble, we'll get to that. They allow you to extend the platform the best way that you can. See, let me tell you something. The list of no-code tools is actually endless. If you this is a tool, this is a tool list of no-code tools that you can use to build so many things. If you get here, you will scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and you just keep on scrolling because there's a lot of no-code tools coming out every day to do different things and to serve different purposes. So the thing is, why should you use a no-code tool? Mainly using no-code tool because it saves you time and it saves you resources. That's the two most important thing. I believe that if you are trying to do something, you should either be saving time or you'll be saving money. And no-code help you save both. No-code help you save time. It helps you save money. So think of it. If you are looking forward to building probably an app that allows women to check their period. So like a period tracker or maybe some sort of a real estate application. The way you would normally build it is that you will Google and find a developer company in your country, or maybe you can source it outside your country, and you'll find those persons who are specialists in building apps like that, and then you send them a requirement, you send them a scope, and then you guys will have meetings upon meetings upon meetings, and then they tell you how much you're gonna pay, and when you pay that money, you begin to build your applications. Some countries charge you as much as 50,000 US dollars. In some countries like Canada, Australia, US, they can charge as much as $150,000 to build a minimum viable product. If you don't know what an MVP is, an MVP is it's the most tiny thing that you can give to your customer in order for them to achieve a particular goal. The most tiny value that you can offer to your customers. That's what the MVP is. And so it's pretty expensive, but if you're going to use no code can allow you to employ a smaller team. You could do it yourself, or you can employ a single freelancer, or maybe a team of two or three, and they can build your minimum viable product, or they can build an entire product for you with no code at a very, very cheap rate. So the thing I think about building apps is that things fail. All right, that's one reason why I love no code. It allows you to know what exactly is going to fail, so you stop doing it, and it also allows you to know what is going to succeed, so you keep doing it. That's the reason. So if I'm building an app for like 3K, 4K, 10K, if it fails, maybe I might not really shout. But if I build something for about 50,000 and I end up not getting it, or it end up failing, then there's going to be a whole lot of trouble. Especially if you took a loan, or maybe you got an investment and all that, it's not going to tell well for you. So for me, I personally advise founders that if you want to build your minimum viable product, or you want to build your simple, lovable product, You should really go ahead and explore one of these no-code tools, and it's going to help you. Some of the other reasons why I use no-code to build my products, it's that. So aside the fact that it's cheaper and the fact that I am able to save time, it allows me to iterate. Customers are always making changes. Customers are always making changes every single time. There's something they need, there's something they want, and the market is always changing every single time. So no code allows you to go with the flow, allows you to keep making changes, making iterations as fast as possible. So that's one of the major reasons why I use no code. And also, like I said before, it allows you to test, rinse, and repeat. So it allows you to test if a particular feature is working or if a particular idea is working. And if it's not working, you just stop doing it. And if it's working, you keep on doing it, right? So what are the trade-offs, right? What are the trade-offs between doing traditional software development and no code? The trade-off mostly is that you are confined within a platform. That's the major trade-off. You are confined within a platform. So even though a lot of new no-code tools are making sure that you are able to do things outside the platform, but a lot of them still keeps you right there. For example, because lots of no-code tools does not give you the ability to write your own code, and a lot of people don't really know how to write their own code because they are citizen developers. They do they try as much as possible to make sure that they offer you all the feature that you likely need. But the way you think about your product, it's not the way the owner of the platform thought about it. So they thought about product development in a very generalistic way, but you're building a specific product that requires a specific type of function, that requires a specific type of feature, right? So they wouldn't think of it that way. So the way you want to use that product, it might be really different. That's the major drawback for no code, vendor locked in. There are things that you want to do with no code that you will not be able to do. That's why you see some lot of no code tools, they tell you to go build plugins, you build libraries, you build other things, in order for you to be able to add feature to that particular no code tool. And then it's just, you're able to get the result that you're looking for. So irrespective of the fact that we have a lot of no-code tools, I'm going to introduce you to some of the popular no-code tools, and I'm going to tell you the do's and the don'ts, and I'll tell you exactly why I like them and why I don't like them. So the first no-code tool that I started with was, of course, WordPress, but recently, the more recent no-code tool I started with was Adalo. Adalo itself was my tool of choice because when it came out, it was really, really good. It allows me to build for App Store, build for Google Play Store, and even launch on the web. Right. So it was very good. Adalo is one of those tools that has everything you need. So it's a complete tool. You are able to use Adalo for both web app, for both iOS app, and for you're also able to use Adalo for Google application, right? So it really, really worked well. But the thing is, Adalo had this database issue, right? It has this database issue that you have to store everything inside of Adalo. And also, Adalo wasn't improving so much, wasn't improving as fast as other no-code tools that came out. So tools like FlutterFlow, Bubble, and other, Adalo came out before majority of these tools, but they weren't really, really, really improving. But this is it. If you are lazy when it comes to learning, and you want something with a very low learning curve, and you just want to launch a product out there, maybe a personal tool, maybe a tool that you just want to put out there in order for you to get some kind of validation for your idea, I think FlutterFlow is the tool that you want to use. The learning curve is pretty straightforward. Everything you want to do with FlutterFlow is dragging and dropping. Right. So if you want a screen, you just simply drag and drop. They have tons and tons of templates that covers very wide area that you can use for your application. Right. So, but one of the drawback of Adalo is speed. Speed is a very big drawback, and also customization is a very big drawback. Database is also a drawback. And pricing is also a drawback too. So let me show you Adalo's pricing. Pricing for Adalo is also a drawback, so I think I'm having network issues. But pricing in itself is also a drawback for Adalo. Adalo's pricing plan might not be favorable for you if you are just getting started and you need to use all the features that Adalo provides. Right? It's something that you have to think about. Then another key tool in the block is Bubble. Bubble is a very cool tool. Very cool tool. In fact, Bubble is one of the most popular no-code tool in the world right now. It's used by millions of people to build apps every day. I use Bubble. I have a lot of apps that I've built with Bubble. I built for myself. I built with clients, and it's a very cool, very cool tool. You still have to drag and drop everything in Bubble. So Bubble in itself comes with a very open canvas. All you have to do is to think of what you want to drop in there and just put it in there. That's what Bubble does. So I like Bubble because of the flexibility that it gives me to do many of the things that I want to do. So if I want to drop a button on the group, this is how I want to drop a link, I want to drop an image. So you just follow mobile development principle, or you follow web development principle to build either a mobile application or a web application for yourself, right? But the thing about Bubble again is vendor locked in, and you also have to understand Bubble pricing. If you're building an app that requires many persons to use it, then you should be thinking about cost, and you should be thinking about how you would make sure that your app does not consume a whole lot of Bubble's workload, that your app does not consume a lot of work, a lot of units, that your app does not consume a lot of units, because Bubble has this log where you see the number of workloads that you're using, and it tells you if you have to spend more money or not. So majorly the issue with Bubble is vendor locked in, and the fact that Bubble has its database right here. All right, Bubble has its database right here. So if you want to build, you would have to connect to, if you want to build, you either use Bubble's database or you connect on a standard database like Xano. And those are probably the two choices that you have when you're building. You can use other database if you want to, but it's not as easy for a beginner. Okay, so another thing that you also want to think about when you're building with Bubble is that you don't really have access to your code. You don't have access to your code, and you can't edit your code. You don't have access to any of those stuff. Everything that you build in Bubble stays with Bubble because you can't use it. You can't use it. You can't use it somewhere else. You can't migrate somewhere else. The only thing you can migrate is the database, and not the front end code, not the logic. Simply the database. That's the only thing you can migrate if you want to. Building with different local tools takes a whole lot of practice, and it definitely takes a whole lot of experience in order for you to get things right. So if you're looking forward to, getting things right as fast as possible, skipping the line and launching your dream ideas within 4 weeks, feel free to check out our studio. The link is down below. You will see the kind of service we offer, and definitely we'll be able to bring your app to life within 4 weeks, especially if you're building minimum viable products. We use different set of tools to bring your web app and your mobile app to life. So just check out our service. I'm pretty sure that you'll be very satisfied when we're done working on your project. Let's get back to the video. If you know that you're someone who's very mindful of their codes and you think I'm going to be migrating somewhere else, maybe it's not something that you want to do for yourself, right? But Bubble, it's one of the most powerful platform. It has thousands of plugins that you can use to extend your mobile application. Bubble has thousands and thousands and thousands of plugins that you can use to extend your application. And I think it's really good for you to build anything. I built multiple apps, lots of apps with Bubble, and it's really good. Right. So another option that I really like so much is FlutterFlow. FlutterFlow is a very, very awesome tool. This is where I have the most application, and this is where I have done the most jobs ever. Because on FlutterFlow, FlutterFlow allows you to build things that you can imagine. Anything you can imagine, you can build with FlutterFlow, especially if it's a mobile application. FlutterFlow uses Flutter. It's a very good framework for building UI and uses that also. It's a very good framework, and I think it gives you a whole lot of liberty to design what you want to design. So if you think of this right now, this is a real estate application that we're currently working on, and it gives you that chance to build as you see fit. Animation is on point, actions are on point, a lot of things are on point, right? That you want to, if you want to build your application with FlutterFlow. So, man, you can see a lot of I mean, you can build very, very scalable application with FlutterFlow, and it really makes a lot of sense if this is where you want to start from. I would say don't build a web application yet with FlutterFlow. If you want to build web, explore the tools for your web. But if you want to build mobile and you want to build for, yeah, you just want to build for mobile, iOS, Android, any other mobile platform, then I think this is definitely going to work for you, right? The reason why I would say do not build web application yet with FlutterFlow, especially if it's customer facing, it's majorly because of SEO. If you have a way to handle your SEO and you just want to build the app itself on FlutterFlow, of course, feel free to do it. And also, loading time for the web can be an issue if you're building with FlutterFlow, and also UI for the web can also be an issue also if you're building with FlutterFlow for the web, right? I'm gonna come back. I'm just gonna say if you're choosing FlutterFlow, this is the right way you should build with FlutterFlow. Most important thing that you want to do, most important thing, understand your budget, know how much you're willing to spend for your project, you know, um, because if you FlutterFlow has a couple of plans. If you live in Nigeria, it's going to start from 20 US dollars. But if you're living abroad, it's going to start from probably 70. If you live in the West, probably in the US or in Europe, it's going to start from 70. So first of all, you have to ask yourself, what price can I pay? Am I going to be on the basic plan, or am I going to be on the on the on the pro plan? So let me show you FlutterFlow pricing. So this is the FlutterFlow pricing. You have to make peace with the pricing first. So it goes all the way from 0, 30, 70, depending on your location. And if you choose to build your application on FlutterFlow, there's a huge chance that you're going to be paying this price every single time. Every single time you're going to be paying this. And also there is enterprise, and then there is education, right? So you have to think of this first. You don't want to be in a situation where you want to make updates to your application and you can't really afford it. But FlutterFlow is one of the cheapest tool out there. Right. And another thing that you want to understand about FlutterFlow is that FlutterFlow only handles the UI, right? It handles the UI aspect of things and allow you to do any other thing that you want to do. So you would see that FlutterFlow also come integrated with Firebase. Firebase is a different service entirely provided by Google, but because Flutter, right? Flutter is owned by Google, Firebase is owned by Google, so there is this very good synergy when you're using both of them. That's why I think that FlutterFlow had to integrate with Firebase immediately. But just be rest assured that the only thing that you're going to handle in FlutterFlow is mainly the logic and the UI. Every other thing you can do it somewhere else. I think that's one of the reasons why I love FlutterFlow. You can do anything about FlutterFlow somewhere else. And also, if you are tired, you can always move your codes to VS Code and check it out and see what you find. And if you want to extend it, it's also fine. FlutterFlow also gives you the ability to extend your code, right? So you see, if you come here, you can extend your code using API calls, and also you can extend your codes. You can extend your code writing custom functions, custom actions, and building your own custom widget. So anything that you cannot find in FlutterFlow, you can do so. And the fact that you can do so with all of these functions here, function, widgets, and actions, and you can also do so with API, makes FlutterFlow really, really unique. And for me, The major reason why I love FlutterFlow is the fact that you can design very, very great UI in FlutterFlow. So one of the major drawbacks I see when you're building with FlutterFlow is that you need to learn it. The learning curve is pretty high compared to Adalo. Yeah, the learning curve is pretty high. You need to learn how things work. You need to understand the database. You really need how things work, right? And majorly, you need to learn how the design work. You just need to learn how it works. And you're not going to start with FlutterFlow today and ship an app on Friday or ship an app in 7 days. Maybe it depends on how you learn, but I doubt if you'll be able to do that. But I'm pretty sure with the download, you can discover a download today and you can launch your app. You might have finished building your application on Friday, So the learning curve is something that you have to think about. And also, FlutterFlow has some strict rules when it comes to editing its code. You can't edit FlutterFlow code outside of FlutterFlow. Maybe it's something I've not been able to do. Maybe other persons can do it. But if you take Adalo's code outside of FlutterFlow, extend it, you can't bring it back and just allow it to compile. It won't be compatible with FlutterFlow. You have to take that code away before it be very compatible. So that's something that you also want to think about if you're looking forward to extending it. That's why the best way that I extend my FlutterFlow mobile application, I use a third-party service via API, like a third-party service entirely, so I get the result via API. Or I would use custom functions, actions, or I use widgets. I use widgets or I use libraries from Popular Dev. Those are the few ways that I extend my FlutterFlow application. I just do a lot of things outside FlutterFlow, right? There was one of the last project we built was to set up recurrence for an app. So it was like a mini Google Calendar. It was a calendar, right? So it has recurrence. Event was supposed to happen at a particular day, and that event has to reoccur after some time. So we couldn't really do that with FlutterFlow. We couldn't take the project, take it outside of FlutterFlow, and go fix it and bring it back. So we had to create another app on Heroku that and use that API to talk to our app on FlutterFlow so we can make that work. So this is one of the things that you have to think about, right? So let's go to another platform that I like a lot. It's WeWeb. So I started using WeWeb recently, and I really think I'm liking it. So WeWeb, it's like that bubble, but without all the trouble. So WeWeb is like using Bubble IO, but you don't have to face any of those troubles that you get when you build it with WeWeb. So I think WeWeb is the right way to build applications. There's no vendor locked in. You can take your code out of WeWeb and go do anything you want to do with it. And so WeWeb, what it does for you is that it allows you to build your UI majorly. That's what WeWeb helps you to do. So you build your UI on WeWeb and then you tie it to any backend of your choice. If you come to WeWeb, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can tie it with any backend of your choice. So let's say, for example, this application, you can build as many things as possible. This is just something I was playing with. And so this data does not live on WeWeb. WeWeb has nothing, it has nothing to do here, no backend, nothing. So all it does is to provide you with a visual layer, and then you can tie your backend. If you click on data, you will see that you can get your data from anywhere. If I click on new and I click on and I go like data source, or let's just go to plugins, right? So you would see that you can use REST API, Superbase, JavaScript, Xano, Airtable. You can get lots of this. You can get data from any of these sources, and it just works perfectly. So I like the fact that WeWeb allows you to build everything that you want to build on the web, and then you can tie it up with any of the backend choice that you like. It's really fast. The tutorials are pretty good. Yeah, there's still some learning curve to this one, but it's very fast. The tutorials are pretty awesome, and I'm gonna be sharing my WeWeb experience in probably in other subsequent videos. But I think it's something that you should check out. It's not as popular as other no-code tools, but it's something that you should check out in order for you to build your web application. But meanwhile, also, WeWeb is tailored for applications, web applications mostly, like SaaS, software as a service applications. You could do landing pages, but I don't see a reason why you should do landing page with WeWeb, but it's majorly tailored to SaaS applications, right? That's what you should use WeWeb to do. So there are lots of other no-code tools, but these are the ones that I play with, and these are the ones that I recommend. But now let me tell you the right way to build your app with no-code, how you should think about it. First thing first, if you want to build your app with no code, decide exactly what you want to build. Decide exactly what you're going to build. Don't move from one tool to another. Decide exactly what you want to build before looking for the tool. If you're going to build a web app, then you should try WeWeb, you should try Bubble. If you're going to build a mobile app, then you should try FlutterFlow, you should try Adalo. But don't go build a web app in FlutterFlow and then you made a mistake and then you come back again and you start saying, oh, I think I should use Bubble or I should use WeWeb, right? And I forgot to add this. One thing I like about WeWeb also is that WeWeb is cheap. WeWeb, it's very affordable to use. There is no workflow usage. There's just nothing. It's just very affordable to use. So you can save $16 a month and you're able to use everything. You're able to use WeWeb, you're able to export the code, you're able to self-host it, you're able to put your code on Vercel, you're able to do everything literally for free, right? So if you're looking for something affordable but good, I think WeWeb is the best platform to use for building web applications. So like I was saying, decide exactly what you want to build and decide the time that you're going to build it, right? And pick the features that you're going to be building. You see, one thing about no code, you can have projects littered everywhere. That's the thing about no code, because it's so easy for you to move from one platform to another. So it's very possible that you're going to have project littered all over the place. So it's very important that you decide on what you want to build quickly. Decide on the features that you're going to build with, like your major features that you want to build it, and then decide the platform that you're going to build it with. And another thing is, think of your database more than you think of the beauty of your application. Very important. Think of your database more than you think of the beauty of your application. If your database is bad, database is like the foundation of your application. If your database is bad, there's nothing you can do about your UI. Your UI, no matter how fine it is, it's definitely going to crumble. So think of your database way more than you think of your application. And if you're choosing database, I do advise, if you're just getting started, use Supabase. It's a very beginner-friendly database. It's scalable, it's good, security is good, provides you all the services that you need. So I think it's something that you really want to check out. So above all, always make sure that you're building your app with an open heart and you're not saying, oh, you're not writing everything on stone, right? These platforms are always improving. They are always adding new things. There's always going to be a new update, and you should just build with an open heart. And another thing that I want to advise, if you are building with no code, build in public. Let people know what you're building. Share your errors. Share share your journey. Be excited about your journey. Don't give up, because many of these no-code tools, they will frustrate you sometimes, and there will be bugs sometimes, and you'll be tempted to just stop and just not work on the project anymore. But it's something that you should really think about. Lastly, if you are stuck and you want to fix things, you want to get things fixed, or you want to work on your no-code project, feel free to reach out to me. Or you just really want to know how do I go about my no-code project, feel free to reach out to me via the link below, and I'll definitely do well to help you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you've learned something in this no-code no-code foundation video. I hope you've learned something that you're going to use to launch your dream. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, I'm with you every step of the way. You need any help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm rooting for you. I can't wait for you to tell me that you've launched your application and you're doing very well. Thank you. I'll see you in a different tutorial entirely. Bye.